Let me show you what a serger can do for you. Watch. It's cutting, it's trimming, it's finishing, all at one time. Bring it around, cut it. Put your next piece in, keep your hands away, go. Your work will come out much faster. Your work will come out much, much more professional. Just like bought in clothing, that's what you're able to do on a serger. I use a serger for every part about my sewing. I use it for quilting, I use it for garments, I use it for curtains for sure. Anything I do, my serger's my first thing. Now, what my goal today is to explain to you what a basic serger does, what you can do if you go into the next one, the next one, the next one. You can see I probably have 40 sergers here. So all of them vary of what they're capable of doing. Let me educate you as to what the differences are and what you might want on your serger. So first we're going to start off with a basic one. Number one thing I would tell you is you want a solid state electronic foot control, and if you just stay away from the big box stores, you're going to be fine. This is going to cut. Now let's go down into the details of a serger for a minute. Now what I like about the Baby Lock Vibrant is I can open this drawer and I can see everything that's in there. So this is called a mechanical serger, and let's explain it that we have two needles here. You see there's two needle holes and there's two needles down here. Those two needles, let's keep my hands out of here. Do you see the straight stitch running down on both sides, the railroad tracks right there? That is what those two needles are doing. Now there's another function that does the thread from left to right. Do you see it? It looks like a zigzag type of a thing. And if you look right here, that is called a top looper, and this one's called the bottom looper. So you use 4 threads, no bobbins. Now if you watch for a second, we can get this close up right here. This looper is going to go over the top, watch. This looper is underneath. Can you see it make its stitch? And it creates its stitch. So the two loopers knot each other on the edge, and the straight stitches hold it down to keep it all secure. So left and right needle, a top looper from here to here, and a bottom looper from here to here. So that's what's so cool. That is the language of any serger from 50 years ago. They're still doing the loopers, everything exactly the same thing of what I'm talking to you about. Okay, now your next function that you want to be able to do is you can go from a 4 thread, 1, 2 needles, 2 loopers, right? That's a 4 thread like the stitch I showed you. Now when you want to go to a 3 thread, if you look at that, I'll show you maybe, let's show it on here first. Okay, so I did this one. See how nice and wide it is? But do you see I don't have 2 railroad tracks? Why is that? Because I only used 1 needle. I used my left needle, not my right needle. If I used my right needle only, I would get a narrower edge, which I have here. Do you see that that's not quite as narrow? So I used my right needle instead of my left needle because it gave me quite a difference there. Okay, now I want to move it to a rolled hem, and a rolled hem gives you that edge that you want so much. Gal was just doing a lace dress, and she was trying to do it, put it on there, and it was fabulous, just fabulous. So you can see you can do it around your scarves. You do it around a lot of things for a rolled hem. Okay, so sergers are able to do this plus a whole lot more, and I'm going to go through those in a minute. I want to talk a mechanical serger, and then I'm going to go up and I'm going to make it easier on you and easier on you and easier on you as you spend more money. The bottom line, this is going to do what you need to do. You're talking on sale. Great buys on them right now, so check that out. Now, we want to have tensions that come down and you just lay the tensions in. A lot of the older sergers, you might have had a bunch of dials like this and it never clicked in and then it never worked and it was nothing but a headache. Opening this door is a fabulous function on a beginner level sergers because you can see what it's doing. The last thing I want to go over, it might be easier, let's move up one. And then I want to go over the cutting system. It's basically the same, but I think you'll see it better over here. So now we go from the Baby Lock Vibrant. It's going to do your serging. It's going to do your 4 thread. It's going to be dependable, but you have to thread every single one of those. Now, does it take me 8 minutes? Yes. Do I have all the tricks of how to tie it on and bring it through in our classes? Absolutely. Understand who you are. Now let's go up to this one. Now this is the Baby Lock Celebrate. It's going to work the same. A little smoother, a little quieter, I can tell. Okay, so now let's open it up. And I think we're going to be able to see a little bit better for the video. Do you see this is a knife? This is the knife. See it going up and down? And this is the bottom knife. So you got a knife that screws in there and a knife that screws in there. That is what's doing the cutting. That's on every serger that there is. But now what is the advantage of going up into a little bit more money? The number one thing you have to understand is how easy things can be. I personally don't like to do things that create a hassle for me. I wouldn't give up jet air threading. Okay? Now what that means, Baby Lock has created a fabulous, okay, so I just took off. All right. All right, I wanted you to see it threaded, but now I got my threads coming right on down. No big deal. But now we have jet air threading. Now remember the loopers I showed you. I'm going to put the thread in here. I'm going to push a button and it's going to come out there. Always perfect every single time. So first thing I got to do is lock my loopers. So you're going to watch right here for a second and I'm pushing this button in. And did you see the loopers locked right across there? This just went across. So tunnels went on in. You're going to take it here. I'll get my hands out of your way. And I'm going to stick it down in there. I usually let it go a 1/4 of an inch, a little bit of spit just kind of helps there. You're not holding on to this thread, but let enough thread come out to go through that tunnel. I'm going to keep my hands out of the way. You folks are watching right here, and I'm just pushing the button, and it just threaded that needle for me, threaded that looper for me. It's right there. Did you see how fast that was? See, it's all threaded, all done. So now I'm going to move my lever over to the right because I want to do the bottom looper. This is the pain point for everybody, is the bottom looper on our old sergers. I know some of you have got sergers and they're in the corner and you're not using them and you're not comfortable with them, or they're too much of a pain to get out. You are missing out because the techniques you should be doing, you should be using your serger. So we're quilting fabric to make purses, everything on sergers. All right, all I had to do is to move this over. Now it knows to come here. I'm again going to just put that down. Okay, folks, I'm trying to let you see. All right, I let it go down just a good 1/2 inch is all, just to make sure it's in there, and bring out enough thread. We're watching this bottom looper here, and all I'm doing is pushing the button, and it threaded the looper for me. You got to be excited. That's about the coolest thing that it is. The deal is go with a little bit more money. We are gaining a much stronger motor. We're gaining a better tension system, and we're gaining jet air threading. Know who you are. If you're willing to thread it and take the minutes and you're willing to adjust the tensions here and there for what you need to do, you're fine here. For me, the easier it does for me, it's worth it to me. I don't want to learn how to do all the things on my car. On here, it does it for me. So the Celebrate is a very, very popular one. It's the 4 thread. The 4 thread, I'm going to go through samples. There's nothing you can't do. I'll explain it to you more. I want to go up one more to help you understand everything, and then we'll go over projects. The projects that I'm going to show you are capable on all these sergers. How easy it is to do is the difference. Okay? Now, I'm going to go to the Victory. Okay, let's take a look at the Victory. This is probably the #1 seller. Your tensions are here. Notice no numbers on it. Notice nothing here to have to adjust. That's the joy. So the jet air threading I showed you over on the Celebrate, it's the same here. The 4-thread stitching, the same. Everything I've showed you is the same. The main difference to this one is that you have no tensions. Now, you're not going to have to adjust tensions on any of my sergers from fabric to fabric to fabric. You won't have to. Technique, technique, technique is an adjustment on your sergers. So if you remember in the olden days, we would tighten our bottom looper and loosen our top looper and la 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 la. Then you couldn't get it back to the way it is. Okay, when you go to these sergers, when you go up to this one, we're going to go with a level A, B, C, or D. Right here. And all I have to do, let's go, a regular serger would be on A. A regular seam, like I've showed you, is going to be on A. So now let's go to the wide stitching. Go to anything to show you. You're sewing something together. You're doing something. This one, I just changed needles. I'd left the left needle in, so it was wide. Got it? Now, if I want to go to a stitch that's narrower, like right here, but I want it decorative, all I have to do is move it to B. The engineers they've adjusted the tensions inside the machines. The inside tensions are adjusted to create the stitch for you. So the greatest thing they ever did was when we want to go to our rolled hem, when we want to go to our others, rolled hem goes down to D. Now to make it simpler for you, the wider the stitch is A, a little bit narrower is B. If I wanted to use my right needle to make it in between these, then I'm going to C and all the way down to a rolled. Nothing more than A, B, C, D. The most fabulous function serger. You want to go back to regular serging? You know how to thread it up for a 4-thread. Move it up to A, you don't do a thing. I don't care if you put in some heavy superior thread. I don't care if you put in woolly nylon. I want you to use all those cool threads because they give you the effect of what you want a serger to do. We are not just serging. We want to be able to use it all the way and do different things. It's lots of fun. So the ABCD function starts on the victory. So I never have to adjust tensions. I just go ABCD. You cannot adjust tensions. That's the same way it is as I go up the line all the way over. I can explain this Acclaim. Let's walk up one more up over here. And let me show you this. We have this put across here because when you're on A, I don't know how well you're going to see this, but when you're on A, can you see there's different things moving on the inside? There's A, there's B, there's C, and there's D right here. The insides are making adjustments so you never have to worry about what thread you put into it. It's always going to be perfect. The engineers suggested I put that in there so you could see exactly what the difference is. Wide stitch, a little bit narrower, rolled hem, all the way down. Following me? So now, when we go up to the Acclaim, this is going to be the same as my Victory, only they've given us more room. Do you see how much more you can get underneath here? You can also get more fabric underneath, okay? So of course you spend more money, you're going to get more features. Just consider not getting any tensions with the Victory. It just makes it absolutely wonderful. What also you're gaining when you go up to the Acclaim, do you know how I taught you how to thread the loopers down here? Well, guess what? You push a button, you put a thread right by the needle, push that button and it's going to thread the needle, air thread it also. I have videos on every single function, on every single serger to teach you every single technique that there is out there. There's also cool presser feet out there. I tried to gather some samples. I want to show you samples and I want to show you differential feet. So we got two things before I can let you go. Let's go over some samples to understand. So we talked about the rolled hem, you talked about a wide edge. Just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. We're doing these shawls that just go around and they're made with a blanket and a piece of cotton and we're just serging around them. But we're serging them with a little bit heavier thread and the widest stitch possible. I don't have to do anything but thread my serger with what I want to use. Super, super fun. Okay, this is called a woolly nylon, and it's a cool thread. If you can tell, you can see nothing through there. I'm going to bring up some more samples to show you the difference. Well, let me grab this real quick. Okay, take a look at this. All right, this is a heavy thread, but so it's probably a 40 weight thread, 40 weight cotton. But do you see what that did? Can you tell the difference? So that's real close together. The thread actually stretches when you sew. So it's specialized serger thread, cool stuff. You need to get comfortable with it, so you do it. Now, the newest technique, I've done plenty of gathered skirts. I've got a little granddaughter, and you just want to make these things. It is gathered and sewed at the same time. There's piping feet, there's zipper feet, there's the gathering foot. Again, I guess I got a 5-year-old. I'm into that all the time, but I always have been, because people make gathering a pain, and it's very, very, very simple. When you do it with a serger with differential feet, and I'll show you how, it's going to gather and sew it on at the same time. Do you get that? That's pretty dang cool. That's going to save you time. Okay, I could talk and talk. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. I'm going to get trouble here. Okay, take a look. Do you see that? It looks like a wave, right? That's called a wave stitch. That's new on select baby locks. Do you see how pretty that is? So what goes on is things come out on ready to wear, especially with the athletic apparel all of us are wearing nowadays, and they're putting cool stitches on it. Baby Lock has copied them and has made it available for our sergers on select models. To get the Acclaim, or to get the wave stitch, we have to move up to the Acclaim, and we do nothing but push the button from here to make that happen. And what it does is it takes the blue thread, sews a bit every about, probably ½ an inch. It switches. It's just cool, just fun. That's only on the Acclaim. But let's just show you some samples. Look at how gorgeous that stitching is. Now that's called a flat lock. And that, look at that. Now go look at your clothing, folks. Your athletic wear has got this down it. And sometimes you use this side, and sometimes you use this side. Depends which one you want. So we're sewing it together, and all we do is click a button, pull it like that, and it flattens it out. It's all over your clothing. That's available on all my sergers I'm showing you. How easy it is the difference. Okay, so just added some of the stitches on the bottom of a jacket, but do you see how we flat locked that and gave the extra stitches? We did the wave stitch there, a little narrower one, even on heavy fabric, and just created what the serger can do. At one point, they always said, oh, you can't sew a quilt with a serger, you have to use only a straight stitch. I would say that's totally changing. Sewing 2 pieces of fabric together, I get an absolute perfect seam, perfect edge on my serger, because I'm using my knife as my edge. And so it gives you stitch it together, it's going to hold it together. So back in our grandma's day, they would say, only do a lightweight straight stitch because you don't want that bulk in there. We aren't just using our quilting for quilts anymore. The fabrics that we have now are much more higher quality. I've never had anything tear apart, but we are also putting fabrics together to create these gorgeous purses, byAnnie bags, all these super, super fun things that we're doing. Sally Tomato, we're creating our fabric, right? Do it on your serger. It's much more professional. It's much easier. It's much more simpler than to do it. A serger, you got your oven or your stovetop in your house. You have to have a grill. You have a microwave. You got everything else right there, right? This thing is going to be used as a microwave that is there used just as much as your oven. You want it out. Ladies, get it out so that you have it out right next to you and master it. Please take our classes. Learn how to do it. You'll never, ever, ever, very seldom, just do plain straight stitching. You'll do it on your serger. So all these different variations. I think I got to be careful of your time. So let's just I want to talk about one more thing. I got to make you know what differential feed is, because you have to have that. And that might be, I'm going to go to this one right here. That might be something as to why you're tired of your serger. All right, so let me get off here. So back in the day, you would get puckers and you would serge down your edges, and you'd serge down and one would pucker a little bit, right? Some of them would gather up this way, some of them would stretch out of shape. So differential feed is one of the #1 features you're going to get. Now, you don't have to worry about it. I wouldn't sell one without it, but there are a lot of garbage on the market. Okay, differential feed is down here, your feed dogs. See, there's a feed dog in the front and there's a feed dog in the back. By pushing, let me just slide this over real quick. Do you see I'm up on 2, or I can be normal, or I can go down? One way or the other. Okay, do you see how this spreads it apart a little bit? Do you see how it changes? Different functions, you're going to change it for different reasons. What it does is it determines if the back feeds faster than the front feed, or if the back feeds slower than the front feed. So imagine the back feed feeding slower than the front feed, so that the fabric on the bottom gets gathered up a little bit, because it's pushing it back. It's pushing it this way. That gorgeous ruffle right here is all serged because I used my differential feed. So differential feed will give you a little bit of an easement. Okay, you folks have put a sleeve in, you've done something, and it kind of stretched out of shape, or you need to gather that sleeve in a little bit to fit in. Just put the sleeve part on the bottom, put my differential feed on too, and your sleeve will go right in your jacket, right in your shirt, exactly perfectly without a pucker. Differential feed. The next function is I can tell it to go faster, I can tell it to go slower. There are times when you've used some fabric and it kind of tightened up on you and kind of, I just did different jobs, and you want to kind of hold it front and back to make sure that it doesn't gather up. Let's just go down. Let's just put the differential feed on, and that's going to solve it. So my back feed dogs can sew a little faster than what my front feed dogs does, which is the same thing as holding your fabric tight so that you don't get any puckers. A serger is mandatory. A serger, you deserve it. You get yourself a good serger, get yours out if you're going to use it, master it. Please take our classes. We have all the usage classes, but I have all the fun classes to teach you all this different stuff. Be doing gathering, be doing skirts, be doing robes, everything with every fabric you can get. We got you covered. So different sergers, let's just recap real quick here. I'm going to go from the beginning one. Remember, I had to thread my loopers. I will have to adjust my tensions. I'm not trying to scare you. If you've never had a serger, this is going to feel like a dream. It's going to take you 5-8 minutes to thread it. No big deal. You can deal with that. Get a serger. Go on up, treat yourself. You want to go up to a little bit more? Jet air threading is awful nice. Fabulous function. We're into a heavier serger. Now we go to the Victory. Guess what? I got my jet air threading. I've got a needle threader to thread my needles, and I have absolutely no tensions. Now we go up in money, and I'm getting more space. So I'm getting more space here to be able to keep my hands in, to be able to get fabric a little bit more, because people are putting batting and everything underneath it. The Acclaim is got the air threading for my needles, the air threading for my loopers, absolutely no tensions. There you go. Now we've talked about 4-thread sergers. It can give you a clue. It's a good place to be. We'll talk about cover hems at another time. So get yourself a serger. Treat yourself. But I want it right next to you. I want your sewing machine here, and I want your serger here. Hopefully you just have to turn your wheel, turn your seal, okay? Because I want you using this. Hopefully you got an embroidery machine. Now you're embroidering and you're serging at the same time. It makes it really fun. See you soon. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe so you won't miss future tutorials. For more help, visit sewitonline.com. Join our little community and keep making beautiful things. Bye for now. Happy sewing.